Hi family, welcome back to LaDenser Crochets. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Liz. Kindly subscribe and join the family. In this tutorial, we're making a cardigan, a sleeveless cardigan. This is a very simple pattern and I hope you're going to enjoy it. If you do, kindly leave a like, comment and share. I'm also going to be selling this cardigan on my website, on my physical shop, and also via WhatsApp. So I'll leave all the links in the description box for placing the orders. So be sure to check them out. I'm using a medium weight acrylic yarn in color red. This is wine red, deep red, yeah, something like that. Then I'll be using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm going to need a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, stitch markers, and a darning needle for weaving in the ends. This is in 3 separate panels, and I've already done one of the front panels. This is how it should look like when it's upright, like this. And the measurements that you're going to need first and foremost is the bust measurement. Now, in this case, when I measure the width of my panel, it's getting me to 8 inches. And this is like a quarter of my work. 8 inches is without stretching. When I do a little bit of stretching, it is going to get me to 9.5, and thereabout. It can stretch up to 10, which means this can fit somebody with a bust measurement of between 32 to 40 inches. For 32, it will be loosely fitted. For 40 inches, it will be a bit tight. So you're going to need to take your bust measurements. Then you're going to take the measurement from your armpit to the bottom part of your cardigan. It's a cardigan, and I need to get to 10 inches from the armpit to the waist. Now the 1 inch that is remaining over here is going to be covered by the border that I'm going to do at the end. And then the measurement from the armpits to the top or to the shoulders, that is 8 inches. So it can be between 8 and 9 inches. So I went with 8. So in total, I have from the top, the total length is 17. It's actually more than 17 by a little bit, but it should get me to 18 once I do the border, or 18.5, which is quite okay with me. So get the bust measurement, get the measurement from the armpits to the waist, then get the measurement from the armpits to the shoulders, and let's get started. So with this front panel, like I've mentioned, I've taken the bust measurement divided by 4. I'm working a bust measurement of 36 by 4, that's 9. And this is 8 inches when not stretched. When I stretch it, it gets me to my 9 or 9.5. So I started with a chain of 32, and I'm going to show you how to do another panel completely identical to this. 32 is a number that is a multiple of 4. So make sure that your starting chain is a multiple of 4. I'll start with a slip knot, then chain 32, I have my 32 chains, and this, when I stretch it a little bit, it should get me to 9 inches. Without stretching it at 8, when I stretch, it will get to 9. When I stretch it more, it gets to 10. So make sure that you have your chain. Depending on your size, if you're doing a size smaller, you might need to chain less. If you're doing a bigger size, you'll need to chain more if you're working with the same size of hook and yarn. Now, to begin row 1, we're going to count 1 chain from the hook. So this is the first one, and then this is the second one. Insert the hook into that second chain, yarn over and pull up a loop to get 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops to complete a single crochet. Into the next stitch, into the next chain, we're going to do a single crochet into the chain that follows, and we're going to place 1 single crochet into every chain to the end of row 1, at the end, you should have the number of chains that you started with minus 1. So I started with 32. I'll have a total of 31 single crochets at the end of row 1. I'm done with row 1 and I have my 31 single crochets. So we're ready to begin row 2. To begin row 2, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that will act as our first double crochet in row 2. Then turn. After turning, yarn over, skip the first stitch and work into the second stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop to get 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 to complete a double crochet. So that's the second double crochet. Into the third stitch, we're going to do the third double crochet, then chain 1, yarn over, skip the next stitch and work into the one that follows, place 1 double crochet, then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next one. A total of 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip a stitch, work into the next one, place a total of 3 double crochets, 1 into each of the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and repeat the pattern to the end. So we skip this, then we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1, skip, 1, 2, and 3. This is what I have at the end of row 2. So it's a pattern where we have 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets, repeat to the end. And that's row 2. Then we're going to chain 3 and turn to begin row 3. Again, the first chain 3 is the first double crochet in the first stitch. So we yarn over and do a double crochet into the second stitch, a double crochet into the third stitch, a double crochet into the chain 1 space, a double crochet into the next double crochet, double crochet into the next one, then double crochet into the next double crochet. When we get to the chain 1 space, we also do a double crochet. So this is going to be a solid row of double crochets, 1 into each of the stitches, including the chain 1. So continue to the end of row 3. At the end of row 3, the last stitch will be on top of the chain 3. Then we're going to chain 3 and turn to begin row 4. For row 4, we repeat row 2. So we're going to work a double crochet into the second stitch and a double crochet into the third stitch to make a total of 3 double crochets at the beginning. Then chain 1, yarn over, skip a stitch, work a double crochet, then a double crochet next, then into the next one, chain 1, skip this, double crochet, and a third double crochet, and then now we repeat to the end. Make sure that at the end of the row you have 3 double crochets, the last one being on top of the chain 3. We're done with row 4. So again we chain 3 and turn to begin row 5. And row 5 is the same as row 3. It's a solid row of double crochets. So 1 double crochet into every stitch, beginning with the second stitch, including the chain 1 spaces. Repeat to the end, and then the next row, which is row 6, will be the same as row 2 and row 4. So all the even rows are worked the same. All the odd rows except row 1 are worked the same. So keep alternating between row 2 and row 3. And you want to work these until you have the length from your waist up to the armpits. In my case, I want to work until I get, let's confirm that. So I want to repeat those rows until I get a length of 9 inches in my case. And that was a total of 1, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 2, that's 18. I'm going to do a total of 18 rows in order to get the length from my waist to the armpit. So consider the length that you need, and then work a number of rows that will give you that length. I have my 18 rows ready. So what I'm going to do is chain 1 and cut off the yarn at that point. Pull the yarn through and fasten. Then turn the work like this. Start with a slip knot. And then count 4 stitches from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then into the 5th stitch, insert your hook and slip stitch right over there. This is standard for everyone, regardless of the size that you're working. We just want to leave some space for the armpits over here. And then you're going to chain 3. And then I'll work over this end as I work my row 19, starting with the second double crochet. The next double crochet, that is, I'll do a double crochet over there because the chain 3 is a double crochet into this first one here. Then into the next stitch, I'll do a double crochet, into the chain 1 space, double crochet into the next double crochet, and repeat to the end, the solid row of double crochets. chain 3 and turn to begin row 20, and this is the row with the chains. Starting in the second stitch, we do a double crochet, then the next double crochet to make 3 double crochets, then chain 1, skip, then 3 double crochets, 1 into the next 3 stitches, chain 1, repeat to the end. I'm done with row 20. So then I'll chain 3 and turn to begin row 21. And as I come to the end of row 21, I'll do a reduction in the second last into these 2 stitches just before the chain. So I'll work until I get to this point, and then I'll show you how to do the reduction. So just 1 double crochet into each of the stitches till you have 3 stitches remaining. I have my 3 stitches remaining, so I'm going to crochet these 2 together to reduce them into 1 stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook into that stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and do not complete the double crochet. Yarn over again, insert the hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops on the hook, then yarn over and pull through all the 3, then complete the row with a double crochet onto the chain 3. And that's the end of row 21. I'm going to get a stitch marker and mark that row just so I can remember where I started reducing. So mark the row, and we're going to be working the reductions on this side only. So in row 22, we're going to start by chaining 3 and turn. Then we're going to crochet the next 2 stitches together, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over, pull through the 3. So we have 2 double crochets. Then we're going to work a third double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next one. So now we've gotten to the chain 1 space. So we chain 1, skip a stitch, work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and repeat the pattern. So skip, then 3 double crochets. There's something I forgot to mention. Before you start the reduction at this point, you should make sure that the last row that you're going to do before cutting off the yarn is the row with the chains. That will make it easy to follow along in this tutorial. So make sure that your last row right here is the row with the chain ones. So to do the next row, we're going to chain 1, 2, and 3 and turn. And this is a solid row of double crochets. So we're just going to place 1 double crochet into all the stitches, including the chain 1 spaces, until we have 3 stitches remaining. So 1, 2, 3. So I'll work until I get right here. I have my 3 stitches remaining, 1, 2, and the chain. So now I'll crochet these two together, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, or then 1 double crochet into the chain 3, and turn to begin the next row. We begin with a reduction in the second and the third stitch. The next stitch will be a double crochet, and then we have a chain 1. So these are 3 stitches. Now we moved from 5 to 3. So next we're going to chain 1 and skip, then do 1 double crochet, a second double crochet, a third one, chain 1, skip, then 3 double crochets. And then keep going to the end of that row. Right now I'm in row, let me confirm, I'm in row 24. So I'll work a reduction at the end of row 25. So let me work row 24, then I'll start row 25, which is a solid row of double crochets, and I'll work until I have 3 stitches remaining. So chain 3 and turn to begin row 25 and work the double crochets, 1 into each stitch. I have the 3 stitches remaining, so I'll crochet 2 together. Then the last stitch will be a double crochet onto the chain 3, and turn to begin row 26. We begin with a reduction in the second and the third stitch, this and this. So crochet those 2 together. That's the second stitch. Then we're going to have the third, the fourth, and the fifth. That gets us to the first chain. So chain 1, skip, 3 double crochets, then continue with this pattern to the end. So you're going to notice that in some rows of reduction, you're going to do 3 double crochets at the beginning, but in other rows, you're going to do 5 double crochets. So you're going to alternate between the 3 double crochets, then 5 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 5 double crochets in the reductions, and then keep going until you have the length from your armpits to your shoulders. In my case, I want to work a total of 8 inches from this point where I've cut off the yarn to the top. And you want to make sure that you reduce in every row. And the reduction is only happening on one side, on this side where we've marked. Right here, I'm done with the rows of reduction, and I've done a reduction in 13 rows plus the two that I had done before I started reducing. That will be a total of 15 rows at the top, and that gets me to the length of 8 inches from the armpits to the shoulders, which is what I was going for right here. So if you want to get to, let's say 9, you're going to do 2 more rows, but the number of rows will depend on the size of your yarn and the hook. You can use any size of yarn and hook, just make sure that you get the desired length. Then at the end, I'll chain 1 and cut off the yarn. So chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the yarn through and fasten. And I'm done with the second panel, my second front panel, which is completely identical to the first one that I did right here. So when I place them on top, as you can see, completely identical. So I'll just turn one like this, and I have my front panels done. The front part is completely done. So now we're going to do the back panel. To do the back panel, you're going to get the number of stitches that you worked here plus here. So 32 times 2, that's 64. And then you're going to add 4 more stitches. So mine will be 68. I'll start with a chain of 68 for the back panel. So start with a slip knot and chain 68. Now, the only difference between the back panel and the front panel is the number of chains that you're starting with. So I'll start with 68, but then for row 1 up to row 18, I'm going to work the same way I worked the front panel. So let me show you. Like right here, I started with the chain of 68, then I did my single crochet row, and then I did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 18 rows. So I'm in the 18th row right now, and I'll just continue with the 18th row. And once I'm done, I'll show you what to do next, because the only difference is in the 19th row. And so do your back panel up to the same number of rows that you have done for the front panel before cutting off the yarn and reconnecting it again. After I have my 18 rows with the back panel, I'll chain 1 and cut the yarn, then turn to the other side, start with a slip knot, just like we did with the front panel, then connect the yarn on the 5th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the 5th slip stitch right there. Then chain 3, and this is a solid row of double crochet. So place a double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next, a double crochet into the chain 1 space, then repeat until you have 4 stitches remaining at the end. So I'm going to work until I get to this stitch right here. At the end, we have the 4 stitches remaining at the end. So now that's where we'll stop with row 19. Then for row 20, we're going to chain 3 and turn. Then this is the row with the chains in between. So we're going to do a second double crochet, then a third double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets, 1 into the next 3 stitches. And for the back panel, we're not going to have any sort of reduction. We're just going to work these rows straight, and we're going to do a total and we're going to do a total number of rows that is the same as the rows that we have on top right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I'll do a total of 15 rows with the back panel without reducing. I'm done with the 15 rows of the upper part of the back panel, and the back panel is now ready, and this is how it looks like. So now I have all my 3 panels ready, and I'm ready to join them. And we're just going to get the front panels and place them on top of the back panel like this. So one on this side and one on the other side, making sure that the sides that are slanting are on the inner part. So yeah, like this. Then we're going to join at the shoulders. As you can see, I've not cut off the yarn at the upper part of the back panel. So I'm just going to use that yarn to connect these two sides or this part of the shoulders. Then I'll cut the yarn off and connect here. So let me do the first connection over here. I'll start by chaining one at the very end and turn. Then start in the first stitch. Insert the hook in the first stitch on this side and the chain 3 on the other side on the front panel on the chain 3, which is the first stitch on that side. Then connect the two with a single crochet. The second stitch and the second stitch on the other side, connect them with a single crochet. The third stitch and the third stitch, and then keep going till you get to the end of the front panel. I'm in the last stitch, so I'll join those two over there, then chain one and cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through and fasten. One of the front panels is joined at the shoulder part. Then I'll get the other panel and join it the same exact way, starting from here up to this point. So get the yarn. I'm starting on the chain 3 on this side and the chain 3 on the other side. Insert the hook, then grab the yarn and slip stitch. Then chain 1 back into that stitch with a single crochet. A single crochet into the next 2 stitches, one on this side, one on the other side. As you can see, I'm working over this end, so I'll join each of the corresponding stitches. I'm in the last stitch, So I'll connect the two and chain one and cut the yarn. So we have the two front panels in place, as you can see. And now we're going to join the sides. This side and this other side. I'll start at the bottom on one of the sides. Get the yarn in the hook. Insert the hook into the first single crochet row and the first single crochet row on the other side. Then get the yarn and slip stitch. Chain one and go back into that row with a single crochet as I work over this end. The next row is a double crochet row. So this double crochet row on this side and the double crochet row on the other side. I'll place two single crochets into it or into them. Then I'll get to the next double crochet and the double crochet row on the other side, place two single crochets into them, one and two. Continue to the next two corresponding rows and place two single crochets into them, one and two. Then move on to the next ones, place two single crochets and work all the way to the top right here. I'm in the last row and I'm going to chain one, then turn my work to the right side and then do a single crochet border on the sleeve area. So on these rows on the sleeve, I'll work a border, a single crochet border. So you want to make sure that you're doing this from the right side of your work. I've already chained one. I'm going to get these ends and work over them. Then I'll start with this stitch over here. I'll place a single crochet into it, then move into the next stitch and place a single crochet into the next stitch. Then that will get me into the chain one space. I'll place a single crochet into it, and that will get me to the double crochet row, and I'll place two single crochets into the row, two single crochets into the next row, two single crochets in the row that follows, and I'll work all the way around, making sure that each of the double crochet rows gets two single crochets. I'm in the last double crochet row, then I'll skip over to the chain one space, then the remaining two stitches will each get one single crochet, and then I'll slip stitch on top of the very first single crochet that I did, then chain one and cut the yarn. So I'm done with connecting on one of the sides of our cardigan. So I'll just turn to the other side and do the same exact thing. But I'm going to do this off camera. So I'll start here. I'll work all the way to this point. Then I'll turn to the right side and work the single crochet border around the sleeve area. So let me do that, then come back. I'm done joining the other side, and so I'll just turn this to the right side now. So now this is what I have. The next thing that I'm going to do is a border at the bottom part, and then I'll do a border at this part, the front part of the cardigan. To do the border, I'll start on the inside part. I'll do one row, then another row going back to this point. So I'll start from here, start with a slip knot, connect the yarn at the beginning in the first stitch right here. Remember, we are doing this from the inside, from the inner side. Then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. That will act as the first chain 3 is a double crochet, then a chain 1. Then I'll yarn over, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip, double crochet next, chain 1, skip, double crochet. And we're going to do this mesh row till we get to the end, all the way around the bottom part of the cardigan. At the very end, I only have one stitch remaining, so I do not have a stitch to skip, and I'll just go direct into that last stitch and do a double crochet. So we have the chain, we have a mesh row, and for our very last row of the border, we're going to chain 1 and turn and work 1 single crochet into every stitch. Starting with the first one, place a single crochet into the next stitch, a single crochet into the chain 1 stitch, a single crochet into the next double crochet, into the chain 1 space, into the double crochet, and continue with 1 single crochet into every stitch to the end. This row, which is the last row of the border, should be on the outer side of the cardigan. At the end, I love a single crochet into the chain space, then a single crochet on the chain 3, which is the last stitch, then chain 1 and cut the yarn, pull the yarn through and fasten. And the border at the bottom part of the cardigan is done. This is what we have from the right side. Next, I'll start here. I actually should not have cut the yarn, but we're going to work with that. So I'll start at this part from the right side, as you can see. Connect the yarn in the single crochet stitch and chain 1. Go back into that row, the single crochet row with a single crochet. I'm working over my ends. In the double crochet row, I'll place 2 single crochets. In the single crochet row, I'll place 1 single crochet. Then 2 single crochets in the double crochet row. 2 single crochets in the next double crochet row. Notice that I'm working over all those ends just to make sure that they are weaved in. 2 single crochets in the next double crochet row, and I'm going to place 2 single crochets into each of those rows to the top. After the last row of double crochets, I'm going to skip this point of connection and work into this stitch, place a single crochet into it, a single crochet into the next stitch, and into the next one, and into all the stitches on the neckline. As you can see, I'm working over the ends just to weave them in. So keep going till you get to the next corner. I'm at the corner, so I'll skip this stitch at the point of connection and work into the rows. I'll place 2 single crochets into the double crochet row. 2 single crochets into the next double crochet row, and I'll keep going to the end. At the stitch marker, I'll place 2 single crochets. Then I'll mark the second one so that it corresponds the other one on the other side. On the other side, I marked the first one, so on this side, I'll mark the second one. Then I'll continue all the way down with 2 single crochets into each of the double crochet rows. In the single crochet row, I'll place 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets in the double crochet row, and 1 single crochet into the last single crochet row. Then I'm going to chain 4, 2, 3, and 4, and turn. After turning, I'll skip the first and the second stitch and then work into the third, place a double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to work all the way around with a mesh row. So just chain 1, double crochet after skipping, chain 1, skip, double crochet. I'll go up to the stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do at that point where the stitch marker is. I'll chain 1, then at the stitch marker, I'll place a double crochet, chain 1, go back into that same spot where the stitch marker was, and place another double crochet. So that creates a corner-like shape, so that we know this, we're going to slant to the top. So then I'll repeat chain 1, double crochet after skipping till I get to the next stitch marker, and I'll do the same thing that I've done at this point. at the stitch marker, I've chained one, and in that stitch where the stitch marker is, I'll place a double crochet, chain one and another double crochet, then continue with the pattern to the end. So chain one, skip, double crochet, chain one, double crochet after skipping, chain one, continue all the way down. At the very end, I'll have my last double crochet in the last stitch, chain one and turn. And now we're going to work the very last row, which is a single crochet row, starting with a single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet into the chain one space, single crochet into the next double crochet, into the chain one space, onto the double crochet, and continue all the way around with one single crochet in every stitch, including the chain one spaces. Once I get to this stitch where I placed two double crochets into the same space, I'll place three single crochets into the same chain one space. Then continue with one single crochet into all the other stitches. Then on the other side where we have the two double crochets in the same stitch, I'll do three single crochets right here. And all the other stitches will just get one single crochet. So keep going. I'll meet you at the end. At the end, I have my last single crochet, then I'll chain one and cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through and fasten. And at this point, I'm done with everything. The only other thing that I'm going to do is a chain that I'll use for tying at this point where the V starts. Then I'm going to weave in these ends that have remained. I only have like 3 or 4 because I've worked over most of them. So I'll get the darning needle and weave them in. All my ends are completely weaved in. And so I'll work the chain and I'll attach it here. So I'm going to do the chain separately. You can make it as long as you want it. I have a chain of 120 chains, so I'll cut off the yarn, pull the yarn through, then I'll put it through this space where we have the 3 single crochets, and on the other side, then I'll tie these ends, tie a knot at the end, You want to make sure that the knot is very close to the stitches. Mine isn't that close, so I'll try again. Then cut the end, not too close to the knot though. Do the same thing on the other side. Then now you can use this to tie at that point. Just like that. And there we have our cardigan done. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the tutorial. If you've enjoyed it, kindly leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And let me know, what other crochet outfit do you think we can make using this stitch? Let me know in the comment section, and see you in the next tutorial.